Welcome back to the channel. Have you ever walked into a quiet room with warm light and instantly felt your shoulders drop like your body finally received permission to stop guarding? And have you ever wondered why a simple ritual like candlelight and slow music can calm you faster than 100 anxious thoughts ever could? Tonight I want to tell you a story about a luxury spa experience, but not the kind of story that is only about soft towels and scented air. This is a story about the nervous system. It is a story about karma as momentum, how the life you repeat becomes the life you live. It is a story about wisdom, because wisdom is not knowing more. It is knowing what truly restores you. And it is a story about compassion, because the deepest peace is not only a feeling. It is a relationship you build with yourself, one steady choice at a time. Our character tonight is named Ria. Ria is the kind of person people call high-functioning. She shows up, she gets things done, she answers messages quickly, she remembers details, she solves problems before anyone else even notices the problem exists. People admire her efficiency. Some rely on it. Some quietly take advantage of it. Ria, for a long time, confuses being needed with being loved. But inside, something is off. Not dramatic enough to get a label. Not obvious enough to trigger immediate change. Just a constant background tension that never fully dissolves. She wakes up already running. Her jaw is tight before breakfast. Her mind is rehearsing conversations that have not happened yet. Her breath is shallow without her noticing. When she sits, she still feels like she should be standing. When she rests, she feels guilty. When she slows down, she hears an inner voice whispering that she is falling behind. If you have ever loved like that, you understand the strange tragedy of modern life. You can have comfort and still feel unsafe. You can have friends and still feel alone inside your own skin. You can have a bed and still sleep like a guard. 1 week, after a stretch of particularly packed days, Ria notices her body sending louder signals. A headache that lingers. A stomach tightness that shows up for no clear reason. A sudden irritation at small noises. A feeling of being touched out even when nobody touched her. She tells herself it is normal. Everyone is stressed. Everyone is busy. Everyone is tired. That word normal is dangerous when it is used to excuse suffering. On Friday evening, a friend texts her something simple. A gift card, a spa, a short message that says you need this more than you admit. Ria laughs at first. She thinks, I do not have time. Then she realizes the deeper truth. Time is not the real issue. Permission is the real issue. She has not given herself permission to be restored. She has treated restoration like a reward for finishing everything. But everything is never finished, so the reward never comes. So she books the appointment. The day arrives. Ria walks into the spa and immediately feels a difference in the air. Not only scent, not only temperature, but pace. Everything moves slower. Voices are lower. Steps are softer. The lighting is warm, as if the room is saying, you do not need to perform here. Candlelight flickers gently. It is not a show. It is not trying to impress her. It is simply present. A small steady flame in a world of screens. Soft music plays in the background. Steady and calm, not demanding attention, not pulling her into a story, just creating a container. The kind of sound that says, you can stop scanning now. Ria wants to relax immediately. She expects it to be instant. But the first thing she feels is something unexpected. Restlessness. Her mind starts listing tasks. Her body wants to check her phone. Her attention keeps jumping, like it cannot believe it is allowed to be still. She feels almost embarrassed, as if she is failing at relaxation. That is the moment the real story begins, because it reveals something important. Calm can feel uncomfortable when your nervous system has been trained to live in urgency. The receptionist offers her tea. Rhea holds the warm cup and notices her hands are slightly tense. The tension is not because she is cold. It is because her system is used to bracing. Bracing has become her default. She is led to a quiet room, eye robe, a soft chair, a gentle invitation to breathe. She hears the word breathe and almost laughs, because breathing sounds too simple to solve anything. But wisdom often starts with what seems too simple. The therapist arrives, calm and grounded, and asks a question that surprises Rhea with its directness. Do you want quiet today, or do you want to talk? Rhea pauses. Nobody usually offers her the kind of choice without expectation. She says, quiet. The therapist nods and says, if anything feels uncomfortable, tell me. This is your time. Those words land deeper than Rhea expects. This is your time, not your performance, not your productivity, not your usefulness. Your time. Rhea lies down. The towel is warm. The room is dim. The music continues, slow and steady, like a river moving without urgency. The candlelight flickers somewhere in her peripheral vision. It becomes a kind of reminder. A flame does not rush. A flame simply burns steadily. The massage begins. At first, Rhea feels the surface sensations, the pressure on the shoulders, the hands moving along tension she did not realize was so deep. But then she feels something else, something that is not physical in the obvious way. Emotion. Her throat tightens. Her eyes sting. She is confused, because nothing sad is happening. Nobody said anything cruel. There is no dramatic memory playing in front of her, yet tears gather anyway. This is a common moment in real healing. When the body finally feels safe, it releases what it has been holding. The nervous system has been carrying stored stress like invisible weight. The weight does not always come out as a breakdown. Sometimes it comes out as tears in a quiet room with candlelight, because the body finally believes it is allowed. Rhea tries to stop the tears. She feels embarrassed. The therapist does not react. The therapist simply continues gently, not performing sympathy, not making it a scene, just steady presence. That steadiness is compassion in action. Compassion is not always big speeches. Compassion is often the quiet permission to be human without being judged. The massage continues, and Rhea realizes her body is not only tense from work, it is tense from a lifetime of patterns. The pattern of saying yes when she wanted to say no. The pattern of smiling when she felt hurt. The pattern of being the reliable one. The pattern of holding everything together. Her muscles have been living as if they are responsible for her survival. In the middle of the session, the therapist presses gently along the shoulder blade and Rhea suddenly remembers a moment from years ago. Not dramatic, but sharp. A time she was praised for being strong when she was actually overwhelmed. A time she was rewarded for not needing help. A time she learned that needing support made other people uncomfortable. So she stopped asking. This is how karma begins, not as mystical punishment, but as momentum. A moment becomes a belief. The belief becomes a habit. The habit becomes a personality. The personality becomes destiny. Rhea has been living the destiny of someone who believes rest must be earned. Now the candlelight and music are teaching her a different truth. Rest can be practiced. Safety can be practiced. Softness can be practiced. That is the real luxury. Halfway through, Rhea notices her breath is deeper. Her jaw has loosened. Her hands are no longer clenched. She feels heavier in a comforting way, like sinking into warm sand. Her mind still produces thoughts, but the thoughts are quieter, like they are happening at a distance. She realizes something that changes the way she sees her life. Her body has been begging for this kind of stillness, not as entertainment, but as repair. When the session ends, she sits slowly, almost reluctant to return to speed. The therapist offers water and says, "Take your time." "Take your time" is another sentence that sounds small but changes a nervous system. Many people live without time, not because the clock is cruel, but because their mind is cruel. Their mind rushes them even when nobody else is rushing them. Rias, it's in the lounge for a while. Candlelight, soft music, warm tea, silence. And in that silence, she begins to see her life with new clarity. She sees that she has been treating her nervous system like a machine, using it until it squeals, then giving it tiny breaks, then using it again. She sees that she has been calling this normal. She sees that she has been waiting for a future moment when everything will settle down, so she can finally rest. But everything will not settle down by itself. Life will keep arriving. The only thing that can change is how she meets it. This is wisdom. Wisdom is the recognition that you cannot build peace by waiting for the world to become peaceful. You build peace by practicing peace. On the doctor home, Ria turns on calming music again, not because she wants to recreate the spa perfectly, but because she wants to keep the thread of steadiness alive. She notices the urge to check messages. She notices the urge to plan. She notices the old reflex returning. This is where practice begins outside the spa. The spa is a container, but the real work is the repetition that follows. That night, Ria does something different. She dims the lights earlier. She puts the phone away sooner. She lights a candle safely on a stable surface and watches the flame for a minute. She does not make it dramatic. She simply watches. The flame flickers. It does not rush. It does not judge. It simply is. Ria realizes that her mind has been flickering too, but with fear and urgency rather than calm. She decides to train it differently. She sits and breathes slowly. She lets thoughts come and go without wrestling them. She remembers how the massage felt when she stopped trying to control everything. She whispers one simple phrase to herself. It is safe to soften. She does not fully believe it yet, but belief is not required. Repetition is required. Over the next week, Ria notices the spa day did not fix her life. It did something more important. It showed her what her body feels like when it is not at war. It gave her a reference point. Once you know what peace feels like, you can start noticing what steals it. She notices certain habits that spike her nervous system. Late night scrolling, intense conversations without boundaries, overcommitting, skipping meals, drinking too much caffeine, carrying other people's emotions as if they are her job. She also notices what restores her. Slow music, warm light, a short walk, a shower without rushing, 10 minutes of breathing, saying no once, speaking honestly once, asking for help once. Each restoring action becomes a seed. Seeds become karma. Karma becomes direction. Direction becomes destiny. Ria begins setting tiny boundaries. She stops answering messages immediately at night. She says no to one extra task at work. She tells a friend she cannot be available for every emotional crisis. She feels guilty at first. The guilt is old conditioning. It is the mind equating boundaries with rejection. But then she notices something else. With boundaries, her body feels calmer. With calm, she is kinder. With kindness, her relationships improve. This is the practical chain of cause and effect. This is why compassion must include yourself. If you abandon yourself, you become resentful. If you become resentful, your kindness becomes a performance. People can feel that. But if you treat yourself with respect, you can offer real compassion without burning out. Another change appears. Rhea begins noticing how she speaks to herself. The inner voice that rushes and criticizes is a form of stress. It keeps the nervous system on alert. She starts practicing a gentler inner tone, not fake positivity, just fairness. Instead of, "You are behind," she says, "You are doing a lot. Slow down." Instead of, "You should handle this," she says, "You can ask for help." Instead of, "Do more," she says, "Do what matters." This is awakening in daily life. Awakening is not escaping life. Awakening is meeting life without unnecessary cruelty toward yourself. Now, there is a subtle but important danger in luxury rituals too. Some people use them as temporary escape, then return to the same habits with no change. They chase the spa feeling the way some chase sugar. It becomes a high rather than a practice. Rhea almost falls into that at first. She thinks, "I need another appointment. I need another hour of peace." But then wisdom arrives. Peace is not purchased. Peace is practiced. So she creates small spa moments at home. Warm light, a clean corner, soft music, gentle stretching, a mindful shower, a candle, a few minutes of silence. She uses these rituals not to pretend life is perfect, but to train her nervous system to return. Return is the core skill, because the world will keep pulling you. Messages, demands, noise, opinions, deadlines. But if you can return to your breath, return to your body, return to calm, you stop being owned by the pull. That is real power. And it changes more than stress. It changes the way you treat people. When your nervous system is less activated, you are less reactive. You do not snap as quickly. You do not assume the worst. You do not turn small misunderstandings into wars. You become steadier. Steadiness is compassion made visible. This is how once odd A becomes a spiritual lesson without any religious language. Candlelight teaches pace. Massage teaches surrender. Soft music teaches the nervous system to entrain to calm. Silence teaches you what you have been avoiding. And the entire experience teaches a simple truth. Your body is not asking for more effort. Your body is asking for safety. Now let me bring this story to you directly. If you have been living in constant bracing, you might think you need more motivation. But what if you actually need more softness? Not softness as weakness, softness as regulation, softness as wisdom. If you cannot afford a spa, the lesson is still yours. The spa is not the magic. The environment is just a container. You can create a container with small choices: a quiet corner, dim light, slow music, a warm shower, a few minutes of breathing, a candle if it is safe to use, a phone placed away. The key is consistency. One calm night is relief. Many calm nights become new karma. New karma becomes a new life. So here is the invitation. Tonight, ask yourself one question. What would it feel like to treat your nervous system like something precious rather than something to be used? If you try it, notice what happens. Do you feel restless? Do you feel emotional? Do you feel bored? Those reactions are not failure. They are the nervous system adjusting. Stay gentle. Stay patient. Return again. I would love to hear from you in the comments. What does luxury mean to you? Is it a place, a smell, a sound, a light, a feeling? Have you ever experienced a moment where warm light and slow music made your body soften more than advice ever did? And if you have been stuck in bracing, what small ritual could you start tonight? If you want to support this channel, please subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment so more people can find calm, practical wisdom in a world that keeps speeding up. Closing words for tonight. May your body remember safety. May your mind loosen its grip. May your hearts soften into compassion without losing boundaries. May your wisdom guide your choices. May your small rituals plant good karma. And may your destiny become lighter each time you choose steadiness over urgency.